What if I told you that this boring business, something that nobody brags about at a party, has been responsible for making regular people, quote unquote, into millionaires? I'm not talking about AI startups, Tesla, Amazon FBA, the next viral app. I'm talking about the businesses that the wealthiest people in your city run. Odds are they own trash companies, roofing companies, car washes, even a cleaning business, which is exactly what I'm going to break down today. But let me be clear, this isn't your ordinary cleaning business model. You don't actually clean anything yourself. And just so we're on the same page, by no means am I saying you're going to watch this video and suddenly go make a ton of money or even $1. I'm simply breaking down a real business model to spark ideas, show you how it works, and then share examples of people who've seen success when they actually execute. Don't forget that 90% of businesses fail within 5 years, and less than 10% of the United States even owns a business. Let's be real for a second. Really, be honest with yourself. If you came across a business that in many cases produces strong cash flow with potential to make millions, has recurring revenue attached to it, but the catch was you'd have to run a house cleaning business, would you take it seriously? Would you do it? Most people wouldn't. Why? Because their ego gets in the way. They'd rather chase a startup that has a 1% likelihood to actually be successful than to run something boring and proven and then been around for a really long time with a blueprint that tens of thousands of people have executed on to build big businesses. And the people that are ignoring boring businesses are usually the same people who are scrolling Instagram at 2 a.m. wondering why nothing they try ever sticks. Look at some of the richest people in history. Warren Buffett, for example. He didn't build the next venture-backed startup, a Google or Facebook or Tesla. He just bought insurance companies. He bought See's Candy. He bought furniture stores. And none of that is exciting. They're all boring businesses with a proven blueprint that have been around since the dawn of time. Another example is Sam Walton, who built Walmart. Walmart was built on being really good at the boring stuff, right? Logistics, supply chains, everyday consumer demand, making sure they have everyday low prices. And he just executed better than anyone else did. Meanwhile, many people chase trendy hustles like dropshipping or agencies that sound exciting, but just end up burning you out quick and require tons of skills. You're also competing against the best marketers in the world in those businesses. And in those business models, you're always chasing new clients. You're having to probably learn new skills, and you're going to cap out at some point. Nothing really compounds. And here's a question that people often ask themselves. Do people already pay for this, right? Without needing to be convinced. Is the business supply constrained? Because the moment you have to educate, persuade, or hype people up, you're choosing the hard road. The businesses that last don't create demand. They just capture demand that already exists. Now, how do you go and spot a boring business? What are some examples, and what would you even look for? So here's how you spot a boring business, right? Think about things that people already pay for, right? Something where demand is already existing. Think air conditioners. They're going to get broken. People need them to run during the summer because it gets hot. Nobody wants to live in a hot house where their air conditioner isn't working. They will pay any amount of money, whether you're in a recession or not, to make sure that air conditioner is fixed. Same thing with your trash. It always needs to be taken out. Same thing with dirt that gets on your windows or your floor or your couch. People will pay to get that stuff cleaned. And more importantly, they need it repeatedly, right? If something gets dirty, guess what? It's going to get dirty again. Something breaks, it gets fixed, it's probably going to break again. And there's no realistic scenario where technology actually fully replaces physical cleaning anytime soon. House cleaning checks every single box. Because you see, I've built multiple cleaning businesses myself. I scaled my first business, which was a window cleaning business, to millions of dollars in sales, and it is now the largest window cleaning business in all of Orange County, California. I then helped my mom build a cleaning business that is producing $40,000 a month like clockwork. And through Home Service Academy, I've helped thousands of people across the United States and Canada launch their own remote cleaning businesses, generating tens of millions in combined revenue. And we even have helped 5 people become millionaires through their own remote cleaning business, which is pretty freaking awesome. Here's the coolest thing though. I've never picked up a mop. None of my students have either. So what is a remote cleaning business? How does it work? Think normal house cleaning business, except instead of hiring employees to do the work or you doing the work yourself, you hire experienced contractors who already have the equipment, already have the vehicles and the training necessary to go out and complete jobs just like a W-2 employee would, except you don't have to come out of pocket to pay for things like their gas, their vehicles, their equipment. If they lose something or they break something, guess who's going to have to pay for that? You. But with the remote cleaning model, you don't have to worry about that because they supply their own equipment. You run the business remotely using simple software tools like CleanWorks, which has your phone system in your CRM and follows up with all your leads, and Allison to manage the leads, the jobs, take the payments, and run your payroll. Customers will find you through Google Local Service Ads, Google Business Profile, and local platforms like Facebook Groups and Nextdoor. They call you, you book the job, and then you send your cleaners to do the work, and you pay them 40 to 50% of every job. You earn 50 to 60% on every job just by managing the operation and basically running an agency, a cleaning agency, so to speak. not by doing the labor, kind of like drop servicing, but instead of sketchy online products, you're offering something every family, every Airbnb host, and every business actually needs: cleaning. And what I love about cleaning is it has a snowball effect to it, right? At first it's small. You have one cleaner, you book a couple jobs for them, but then you start to get more phone calls, you start to get more leads, because cleaning is supply constrained. There's not enough cleaners to go out and do the work. It means there's more demand than there is supply. You then start to reinvest back into what's working. You become more visible online. You start to build better systems. You get 2, 3, 4, 5 cleaners. Maybe you have a couple crews in there. Then you're able to start to take more work. Then your few customers start to refer you out to their friends. Then they become recurring and they get on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly schedule. And if you just run the business right, you should walk into more and more revenue and more profit every single month, just like a software business, which is exactly how real businesses grow, right? It's the same compounding principle that Warren Buffett loves and long-term investors obsess over. Cleaning businesses have it built in naturally. So you might be thinking, why doesn't everybody do this? Because ego gets involved. When someone asks, what do you do? Most people want an answer that sounds impressive, even if it makes no money. They'd rather say they're building a startup than admit that they run a cleaning company, right? However, as long as you can look past that, you have to remember boring businesses keep operating quietly in the background, paying the bills, buying assets, and surviving every trend cycle. So how do you get started? How does this all work? How can you execute today after watching this video? So here's the simple remote cleaning blueprint. I've taught thousands. What you're going to do is first you're going to form an LLC in whatever state you live in. I always recommend just launch the business wherever you live, because you know your area, you know the nice areas, you know which areas you want to market in, and it's going to be a lot easier to get verified on Google Business Profile as well. But file your LLC. Depending on where you live, it's going to be as low as $50 all the way up to, if you're in California, $800. The reason you want the LLC in the first place is because you need that EIN number attached to it. The EIN number is going to allow you to open up a business bank account and be able to take payment through payment processors. Once you have that EIN number, you have your business bank account, you're going to need some softwares and a website. The stack I like to use is Allison for bookings. This is going to allow you to onboard cleaners as well, pay your cleaners, schedule your appointments, allow for online booking. Then you're going to need CleanWorks, which is your CRM. This is going to make sure every lead gets followed up with until the end of time via text, email. It even includes your phone systems, so you don't have to mix your personal phone number with your business. Then you're going to need a website, because when you have a website at the beginning, yeah, it's not going to get a lot of traffic. You're not going to get a lot of leads from it at the beginning, but what the website is going to do is make you look professional, not only to customers who want to do business with you and spend money with you, but also to the cleaners that you're going to be recruiting, right? And for your website, I like to use Rebolt. Super simple, easy to do. They'll build it for you. It's an AI website. It comes optimized with SEO, so it increases the likelihood that you actually rank on the first page of Google when someone searches for cleaning in your area. But once your tech is all set up, you're going to then want to recruit cleaners. And there's a saying I like to tell all of our Home Service Academy clients, and that is 2 ABCs: always be closing and always be recruiting, short for recruiting. You should always be recruiting, right? At the end of the day, your cleaners are your product. They're going to be the ones that are customer facing in your clients' homes, that you need to make sure that you screen consistently and you're onboarding good cleaners at all times. You can find good cleaners by making a simple account on Indeed and getting a ton of leads that way. You can ask in local Facebook groups if anybody has a good cleaner recommendation. This is how you find the local cleaners that aren't really advertising themselves and just want to show up and do the job. You can also run Facebook ads for cleaners. Any of those work. It's really not that difficult. You just have to be okay with talking to some people who aren't great fits. Just think 80-20 rule, right? 80% of cleaners you talk to are probably going to suck. 20% are going to be good. Once you find a good one, you run them through a background check. You can use a simple service like Checker, which is about $30 a check. And then you send them off to do what we call a test clean. A test clean is just going to be at a friend or a family member's home. And this is just going to make sure that they show up on time, they do a good job, but most importantly, they don't try to steal your customer, because you have that friend or family member ask them at the end of the clean, how can I book again? They're going to answer one of two ways. They either say, here's my card, I'll do it for cheaper, or they're going to say, call the office and talk to the company that you originally booked with. If they say that and they show up, they do a good job, they're likely going to be good to go for future jobs. Now, during this whole setup process, you're going to want to make sure you sign up for Google local service ads, because there is a verification process. And so about 2 to 3 weeks in, you should be verified and ready to run ads. This is going to be the easiest, lowest hanging fruit, because it's going to put you right under the search bar when someone searches cleaning near me. These are going to be your highest intent leads. You should be able to close 50% of everyone that calls you. It's a pretty simple sales pitch as well. You then pair this by joining local Facebook and Nextdoor groups and saying, hey, my name's Johnny. I run XYZ cleaning service. I love to eat at this local restaurant. And by the way, I own a cleaning business. And if you comment, keyword, say spring cleaning's coming around the corner. Comment spring, I'll give you, 20, 30, 40, 50% off your first clean. This is an easy way to get customers for free. And make sure you post as yourself, not as a company, by the way. You'll start getting the leads via paid advertising and your free methods of getting the leads. You then have your cleaner, you pair the two together, and you start making money. It is quite literally that simple. And then you just keep doing more of the stuff that works. You keep screening cleaners and recruiting them. You spend more on ads because you're going to be making money off the ads. You keep posting in your local Facebook group so you get leads for free, and then brings how much it costs to get a customer down. And then slowly but surely you should be able to get to your first 10K, 20K, 30K a month. Am I saying you're absolutely going to? No, because it's a business. Sometimes there's going to be areas where you lack it. Maybe you suck at sales. Maybe you're not a great marketer or whatever. But if you just rinse and repeat this process over time, I find it very, very hard to believe that you can't get to your first $10,000 a month with this business. And don't just take my word for it. Let me show you the real range of real outcomes I've seen. Some people start this and do, a few thousand a month part-time on top of their 9 to 5. Others scale to 20K, 30K, 50K, 100K. And again, I have to be very clear, $1 million businesses are not typical. They're the exception. But I'm about to share what represents the top 1 to 2% of students who went all in on this model. Take Skylar, for example. Skylar was a sales rep selling line striping machines to schools and governments. And he started this business on top of that day job, and over the next 18 months he got it to $100,000 in a single month. Now he does around $150,000 a month in a small town in Nebraska, and he eventually left his 9 to 5 even though he didn't want to. He was double dipping for a while. He was actually making more money with his side hustle than he was his main job, but he was getting comfortable both taking the nice 9 to 5 salary plus the side income, until it got to a point where it just didn't make sense, where he realized the more time I spend in this business, I'm gonna actually make way more money, so let me allocate all the 40 hours a week I'm spending at this 9 to 5 into the business. Eventually left, bought his first house strictly from the profits of his cleaning business. Pretty freaking cool. We have people like Paul. At the time of recording this is January 29th. He sent this screenshot today and hit his first $100,000 month within 2 years of running this business. Pretty freaking crazy, right? And again, to be very clear, these are not typical results. Most people starting a remote cleaning business will do a few thousand a month in the first couple months. Maybe they get to 10 to 20K if they're consistent. But I'm showing you these examples because I want you to understand the ceiling of this model when it's executed at the highest level over multiple years. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. The first 90 days are going to test you. Cleaners will flake. Customers are going to complain to you. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But if you just push through that, if you treat this like a real business and not a side hustle, this will work. It just requires significant effort and execution. It's not a lottery ticket. It's not passive, but it is proven and it works. So if you want to keep chasing the shiny stuff, then click off this video and I hope you got some value. But if you want to avoid making the same mistakes I have and so many others have, you can instead build a boring remote cleaning business that has the potential to create long-term stability while everybody else burns out. The choice is yours. And if you want the step-by-step breakdown, the same framework I've used to help thousands of people understand this model, I will send you over a completely free training that goes way more in depth in on this and how to set it all up and get your first paying customers in 7 days or less. If you want that, you can just DM me Blueprint on Instagram. I'll plug my Instagram on the screen here. It's at Johnny the CEO, and I will shoot that over to you. And if you got some value out of this video, then I'd appreciate a like, a sub, a comment on what boring business you'd consider starting, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, and turn the notification bells on. Peace.